council meeting of August 16, 2023. We have approval of minutes, report of correspondence, public hearings, we have none, ordinances, and second reading. We have ordinance number 1, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised draft ordinances of the city of New Brunswick. This is part and zone for handicapped persons. Number 2, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised draft ordinances of the city of New Brunswick. This is in relation to rent control, various amendments. An ordinance to amend and supplement the revised ordinances of the city of New Brunswick. This is related to modification to ordinance 5.08.090 from the annual beverage reserve, including at 8 on Sunday, September 3rd. Number 4, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick. This is in relation to time limit parking, parking meters, and various locations. Number 5, an ordinance amending ordinance 127.802, 15 salaries and wages for various employees represented by the Municipal Employees Association. This is from January 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2026. We have ordinances on first reading. Number 1, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 2, Administration and Personnel, Elected Officials. Number 2, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 17, zoning, and this is in relation to overlay zones. Number 3, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick. This is in relation to trucks over 4 tons excluded for Robinson Boulevard. And number 4, capital ordinance providing for various general capital improvements and acquisitions in the city of New Brunswick, appropriating $6.9 million to be paid for the cost thereof. We have resolutions 1 to 38. Number 1, approve agenda amendments. 2, approve payroll. 3, authorize people to review tax sales certificates. 4, approve resolution authorizing payment for intersection improvement at 50 Jersey Ave and Hill Street. 5, approve amendment of resolution R092230 with Institute for Forensic Psychology. Number 6, approve award of contract with T-Mobile USA Inc. 7, approve amendment of resolution 042375 to this is to Peter Jost, Esquire. 8, approve request for use of city property requested by ROCC Entertainment for a community event. 9, approve request for use of city property requested by Kevin Middleton and members of the community. 10, approve request for street closing requested by Rutgers University. 11, approve amendment of resolution 03208. This is a change of date for 8 of summer pre-Labor Day fireworks. 12, approve chapter 159 budget insertion for 2022-2023 Gold Blue. 13, approve chapter 159 budget insertion for 2023 title weekly supplement. 14, approve chapter 159 budget insertion for 2023 share service animal control. Number 15, approve chapter 159 budget insertion for 2023 UC 15. 16, approve chapter 159 budget insertion for 2023 15. 17, approve resolution to authorize release of escrow to Vanderpool and Sons Company. 18, approve amendment of resolution R052351. This is for surveying services for two weight and utility surveys. 19, approve of a contract with Ford and Main LP. 20, approve amendment of resolution 042339 with consultant and municipal aid engineers doing business as CME Associates. 21, approve Title 39 agreement between New Jersey Avenue and the Urban Renewal LLC and the City of New Brunswick for New Brunswick Police Department's enforcement of motor vehicle and traffic regulations. 22, approve renewal of agreement with Cigna Healthcare. 23, approve authorization to advertise for furnish and deliver of 2023 Ford F-250 trucks. 24, approve amendment of resolution 06 For 2023, UBC Business Training. 31, approval of renewal of liquor license with special rules for somewhere else inactive. 32, approve renewal of liquor license with special ruling 2023-24 for somewhere else in. 33, approve resolution to apply for grant agreement with 2024 New Jersey State Council of the Arts Creative Initiative. 34, approve a work contract for truck and equipment replacement parts with several vendors. 35, approve amendment of resolution 082308. The reason is to add additional dates as a result of project shutdown to allow for pedestrian safety with the persons traffic. 36, approve request for use of city property requested by youth advocate programs. 37, approve relaxation of the city notice ordinance requested by Shifano Construction. 38, approval of resolution 022312 with Euromap US Inc. Then we have item for discussion by the council. Days to remember, city council agenda review session, the next one will be September 6th at 5 p.m., followed by the city council meeting. At this time, the meeting is called to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Anderson.
Here.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Here.
Councilmember Fleming.
Here.
Councilmember Gaskins.
Here.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig. Here. Council Vice President Egan.
Here.
Council President Escobar.
Here. Please be advised that the notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act has been complied with and satisfied that doing that, the annual notice which gave sufficient notice of the time and date and conduct of all public meetings of the Municipal Council of the City of New Brunswick has been filed with the city clerk, has been placed on an appropriate bulletin board in City Hall, and has been transmitted to the official newspaper for the City of New Brunswick, naming the home district.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'm going to ask Councilwoman Gaskin to lead us into the moment of silence.
Thank you, Madam President. I want to take a moment to recognize the life and legacy of our dear Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver, who passed away on August 1st at the age of 71, and whose funeral was on Saturday. She is profoundly missed. She was a Jersey girl through and through, and she often would say, we all know Jersey girls don't want their own parents. You're welcome. She began her journey as a public servant after reading A Tale of Two Cities and wanting to fight back against injustices and inequities she saw every day. She was a woman of first. She was the first woman of color ever elected in a statewide office. She was the first Black woman in New Jersey history to serve as Assembly Speaker, and she was only the second in our nation to hold such a capacity, paving ways for Black women in politics. She was pivotal in transformative legislation, protecting employees from wage theft, juvenile justice to reform, to help divert youth in the justice system, helping our urban cities, bolstering gun safety. She was a tremendous leader who was always willing to fight for what's right. Please join me in this moment of silence as we wish that Lieutenant Governor rest in peace and in power.
Thank you.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda. Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. Madam Clerk, has the correspondence been directed to the appropriate departments?
Yes, Madam President, the correspondence received by the City Clerk's office has been forwarded to the appropriate departments for further action.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
At this time, we're gonna have, we're gonna start with the ordinance on second reading. We have ordinance 082301, is ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Chapter 10.20, handicap parking, Section 10.20.01. Schedule 39, parking zones for handicap persons, and 14 North Ward Street. Does anyone from my fellow council member have any comments or questions on this particular ordinance? address the council, please come forward. No?
Move the ordinance.
Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins.
Yes.
Councilmember Secor Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. We have ordinance 082-302, is the ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 5, business licenses and regulations, chapter 5.80, rent control, and this is in reference to various amendments. Does any of my colleagues would like to make a comment or have any questions on this?
I would like to make a comment. I think the council worked very hard on this ordinance, and I also want to thank Mr. Dominguez and the administration and the mayor for putting forth the cohesive ordinance for the council to vet. There are a couple pieces outside of the rent increases that come along with this ordinance. One is the increase in regulations for property owners who own multiple properties. There will now be a different process where if, say, there is an apartment building or a complex and there is a complaint, we will now look at 5% of the pool after that complaint, and if there's more violations found, we will go to another 5%, and so on down the line. Also, the increase in registration fee is going up to $50 for rent control. There's a piece in this I don't necessarily agree with, but I can accept, which is the there's a 50% limit now on the increase if there is a outstanding violation of 90 days for a landlord to increase their rent for that coming year. I'm okay with it because the burden still lies on the tenant to put it forth to the rent control board. So that I was okay with, and the increases are changing from a national standard that we use to a regionalized standard, a Northeast standard for the CPI. And then there is another piece of this, which is, I think that's all. So those are my comments on that, and I do think council and everybody worked very hard together to come to an agreement that was amicable between the tenants and the landlords.
Thank you. Any other comment?
Yes, Council President. I also would like to agree with Councilwoman Ludwig that this was a great effort in terms of from not only from city administration, from the council. I also want to thank people from the public that have given their input and recommendations that were taken into account as this was all done. The only thing that I would differ here is I do believe that a lot of the ordinance put in place are reasonable in terms of tenant protections, and look forward to continuing to look at ordinances to see what is in the best interest of the people in the public.
Thank you. Anybody else from the council wishes to address? Thank you. At this point, we are preparing to open the public hearing on this ordinance only. We have up to 5 minutes per person, one time off. If any member of the public wishes to address the council on this ordinance, please approach the microphone.
Move the ordinance.
Second.
Councilmember
People coming in there. So
Why, you want to do that?
Buenas tardes a cada uno de ustedes. Buenas tardes. Soy miembro del Perdón. Buenas tardes, miembros del Consejo. Mi nombre es María Bravo. Mi compañera Selmira y yo estamos aquí representando la Asociación de Inquilinos de New Brunswick, junto con el proyecto Esperanza de New Brunswick Tomorrow.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Amira Cordero, and my colleague Maria Bravo, and I represented the New Brunswick Tenant Association together with Esperanza Project of New Brunswick Tomorrow.
Queremos agradecer a todos los miembros del Consejo Municipal por haber tomado en serio nuestros testimonios y recomendaciones durante nuestra campaña para enfrentar la crisis del costo de vivienda.
We want to thank the council members for taking seriously our testimonies and recommendations during our campaign to confront the housing affordability crisis.
La propuesta que hoy va a considerar es un paso positivo para ayudar a nuestras familias vulnerables que día a día trabajan para tener una casa donde vivir. Estos cambios no van a resolver la crisis, pero garantiza que ningún inquilino de New Brunswick volverá a enfrentarse a un aumento legal de la renta del 5.5%.
The proposal that you are considering today is a positive step to help our vulnerable families that work day to day just to have a place to live. This change will not solve the crisis, but they are guaranteed that no New Brunswick renter will ever again face a legal rent increase of 5.5%.
Esta propuesta trabaja la escala de incrementos máximos de renta permitidos a una escala de entre 1 y 4%, dependiendo de la inflación. Esto hará que la ordenanza de New Brunswick esté conforme con otras ciudades con ordenanzas más fuertes basadas en la inflación como Newark y Jersey.
This proposal lowers the scale of maximum permitted rent increases to a scale of between 1 and 4%, depending on inflation. This will bring New Brunswick ordinances in line with other cities with a strong inflation-based ordinances like Newark and Jersey City.
Hubiéramos deseado del Consejo habría aceptado completamente nuestras recomendaciones como una congelación temporal de la renta y un aumento máximo futuro del 3%. Eso habría hecho que la ordenanza de New Brunswick fuera la más fuerte del Estado.
We wish the Council had fully accepted our recommendations, including a temporary rent freeze and future maximum increase of 3%. That would have made New Brunswick ordinances the strongest in the state.
Sin embargo, esta es una propuesta positiva que apoyamos también incluye varios otros cambios basados en nuestras recomendaciones que ayudará a que los propietarios sean más responsables.
Nonetheless, this is a positive proposal that we support. It also includes several other changes based in our recommendations that will help make landlords more accountable.
Por ejemplo, no permite que los propietarios con infracciones abiertas de vivienda aumenten las rentas al porcentaje máximo. También de la ciudad el poder de investigar violaciones adicionales de control de renta. Cuando se descubre que un propietario te ha cobrado más a un inquilino.
For example, it doesn't allow landlords with open housing violations to raise rents to fully amount. It also gives the city power to investigate additional rent control violations when a landlord is found to have overcharged one tenant.
Gracias, el tiempo ya se pasó. Gracias. Anybody else wishes to address the council on these ordinances?
Good evening, council members. Charlie Cradwell, New Brunswick today. Generally agree with the sentiment. This is a positive step in the right direction, but I have some questions I wanted to ask. First about section 1. Why is this being added? What's the purpose of this section?
Mr. Dominguez.
Yeah, so
This is for clarity's sake, so the state law on the 30-year rent control exemption for new developments is already a thing. And the state law, it allows municipalities to exempt, well, it doesn't allow it, it requires them to exempt them from rent control for a period of 30 years, but only the parts of rent control for rent increases. They're still subject to registration and standard of service and all the other components, but they just don't have, they're not just subject to the caps for 30 years. That's state law. We don't have any jurisdiction on that. This clarifies it and harmonizes our ordinance with the state law to clarify that their only exemption that they have from our ordinance is with respect to that increase, but they're still bound by everything else.
Can somebody tell me, is there any pending litigation on that topic right now in New Brunswick?
Do we have the answers?
I mean, I'm not aware of anything on that, yeah.
All right, well, I will say that, you know, that maybe state law is definitely not a good state law because it leads to a lot of people seeing really big rent hikes and being pushed out of their homes. And so I would encourage the city to be creative like Newark and find ways to protect those folks as well. I also wanted to ask about Section 2. So this is an increase. Is there a projection of how much additional funds will be raised and what those funds will go to?
Just running quick math in my head. I'd have to say it probably generates about somewhere between $60,000 to $80,000 a year, conservatively. And hopefully it'll help us support the ordinances in general and keep you know, rents affordable and safe for the residents of the city.
Moving on to Section 3, you know, as was described, you tie the hands of the rent control board and that they're forced to go along with whatever the regional CPI is to the extent it's within those margins. Can you tell me why not give the rent control board some discretion? I mean, these are appointees that you approved. Would they be better positioned to know if there needs to be a deviation from the CPI for our community?
The only thing I would add is that, to my understanding, it's always been that way. The ordinance had a calculation and it went to the board, and the board basically had to say, yep, that's the increase based on the CPI. I feel like it's always been that way, so I don't see that as any change, just that we're using regional CPI, proposing to use regional CPI versus shelter CPI, which was the national shelter CPI, which was the prior standard. But I don't see any change there in terms of the latitude that the rent control board has in terms of determining the number.
Curious, did anybody look into what the regional CPI is at the moment? What would it be, you know, next month? They said it.
Yeah, if you were to take a snapshot right now of the most recent data, I believe it's the July data, came out yesterday, I think it's 2.6%.
Moving on to Section 4, can you just tell me what is changing here for vacancy decontrol?
Sure. This clarifies that the investments that a landlord must undertake to achieve that decontrol, should they qualify, to shrink the time period from 5-year look-back window to 2-year look-back window. And that it must be made by the current, no, I think we already did that. That was a prior ordinance. This one changes it, I'm getting them confused, sorry. This one changes it so that if a prior owner made the improvements and you bought it, you can't claim the prior owner's improvements as justification. You made an investment in the property to justify the increase. You yourself, as the current owner in the last 2 years, must have made those improvements.
Got it. And then just on the Section 5 piece, the, you know, taking a deeper look at violators and the units they have, I was just curious if there's any thought given to, you know, many landlords will have a separate company for each property they rent. Is there any thought to looking into who controls the companies and holding them accountable in the same fashion as you would somebody who owns a bunch of units as, you know, under their name?
So we did talk that, a little bit about that, and trying to do the best to try to avoid that, right? So hopefully we'll be able to continue to do that with this specification in this specific ordinance. So that's our goal.
Thank you.
prayers for everyone, that everything works out, that the council member does help a lot of people. One thing I'm surely gonna speak on tonight as a person who's been here 46 years, I'm gonna say to some tenants, due to where I know President Escobar, you did say it depends on the cost of things as well. I'm going to say, wow, blessing due to where, wow, my rent wasn't raised due to where I'm a person who I take responsibility. That is not my house, but I still take responsibility, and I say if a lot of residents start taking responsibility with helping the landlords, keeping the property clean, what you're keeping inside clean, I will say due to where, what, as a blessing due to where I'm in a 3-bedroom with attic storage, only $1,550, but like I said, God bless my landlord due to where my rent wasn't increased because like I said, I take care of the property. What, anything that needs to be done, he'll pay for the supplies, the paint or anything, where what I make sure it is done. So I'm not going against some residents, but due to where what I'm seeing around New Brunswick and been here for a very long time, I think some residents that they think will, like, helping out with the landlord, maybe the landlord will be much nicer to you, because I will say, like I said, it's a blessing to me. That's what it is due to where I keep the property clean, or how I sand the hardwood floors. But when I first moved in there, I said, I got monk in me. Everything has to be just right. I take care of the property due to where I just spread the word. Well, maybe that'd be a little easier on some other residents where if you chip in, taking care of the property, maybe it would be good luck for you. Because I would say, thank you, Jesus, it was good luck for me. My rent wasn't increased at all. Thank you.
Anybody else from the public on this ordinance?
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Enaida Peláez, soy miembro de la Asociación de Inquilinos.
Good afternoon, my name is Enaida Pelaez. I'm a member of Tenant Association of New Brunswick.
También quiero agradecer al Consejo Municipal por trabajar con nosotros para hacer estos cambios. No son todo lo que queríamos, pero son un paso positivo.
I also want to thank the City Council for working with us to make this change. They are not everything we wanted, but they are a positive step.
Si esta propuesta se aprueba esta noche, es solo el comienzo del trabajo. Sabemos que hay muchos propietarios que ignoran las ordenanzas existentes y abusan de su poder.
If this proposal is approved tonight, it is just the beginning of the work. We know that there are many landlords that ignore the existing ordinance and abuse their power.
También sabemos que hay muchas familias inmigrantes que no conocen sus derechos y tienen miedo de hablar. Yo mismo no me he quejado en ocasiones porque estaba nervioso por lo que haría el propietario conmigo.
We also know there are many immigrant families that don't know their rights and they are afraid to speak out. I myself have not complained at times because I was nervous about the landlord we do.
Es por eso que nosotros, como asociación de inquilinos, nos estamos educando a nosotros mismos y a otros residentes y animándolos a ejercer sus derechos. Tenemos que asegurarnos de que todos los residentes sepan que están protegidos contra aumentos ilegales de renta.
That is why we as a tenant association are educating ourselves and other residents and encouraging them to exercise their rights. We have to make sure that all residents know that they are protected from illegal rent increases.
La ciudad también tiene un papel importante que hacer. Le pedimos a la ciudad que aumente sus esfuerzos para compartir información con los inquilinos y facilitarles el acceso al apoyo del Departamento de Control de Renta.
The city has also an important role to play. We ask the city to increase its effort to share information with tenants and make it easy to them to access the support to the rent control department.
También pedimos a la ciudad que sea agresiva en monitorear a los propietarios problemáticos y hacer que cumplan con sus responsabilidades. Esto incluye los propietarios ausentes, que delegan sus responsabilidades a sus agentes locales.
We also ask that the city be aggressive in monitoring problem landlords and holding them accountable. This includes absentee landlords who delegate the responsibility to property managers.
Juntos podemos ayudar a hacer realidad estas ordenanzas para los inquilinos de New Brunswick. Gracias, muchas gracias.
Together, we can help make this ordinance real for the tenants of New Brunswick. Thank you.
Councilmember Anderson.
Although I do have some concerns with the spirit of compromise, I say yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins.
I think this strikes a fair balance for tenants and landlords and starts to help increase addressing tenants who feel as if their landlords are acting in bad faith. So for that reason, I vote yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. We have ordinance. We have ordinance 082, 303, is an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 5, business licenses and regulation, chapter 5.08, alcohol beverage licenses, section 5.08, 2.090, Sunday. This is in reference to the one-time modification to ordinance 5.08, section, prohibiting alcohol beverage reserved beginning at 8 p.m. on Sunday, September 3rd, 2020, due to Robert's football game at 12 p.m. Do any of my fellow council members have any questions or any comments on this particular ordinance? Any member of the public wishes to address the council on this ordinance, please come forward.
Good evening, once again, Charlie Pratt, Village of Brunswick, in Brunswick today. I'm curious, did anyone request this, any establishments?
Mr. Shabby?
Yes, the city received a letter from an attorney who represents, Old Queens, I'm sorry. We're blank there. Old Queens Pub, requesting that there be a relaxation of this particular ordinance. Apparently, I wasn't aware of this, this is a historical event that a Rutgers football game will be held on a Sunday. I don't think it's happened in decades. And they want the opportunity, and everyone who has a liquor license in Brunswick will have the opportunity to host Rutgers football fans starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. The game actually starts at noon, so that's in conjunction with the relaxation, if you will, of the liquor license spend some hours.
Thanks. I'm now curious, what are the normal allowable operating hours on Sunday?
12.
Can't open until noon. Right. And what is the reason for that? You know, says Sunday treated differently than other days, and if so, you know, why do you think that's appropriate?
I think I like just Mr. Shammy just explained to you. The reason is because Rutgers is playing, so we wanted you to make it. Rutgers
Why Sunday has to be?
Oh, yeah, it hasn't been changed, it hasn't
Sunshine
been
law type of
different.
thing.
Yeah.
Something like that. Church thing.
So, Mr. Chairman, and the council, why do you have an answer for that?
I don't want to give a history lesson, but I think historically, liquor license establishments weren't allowed to open on Sundays because it was a day of observance, a religious day of observance for different folks, depending on their religious beliefs. So, this council, many moons ago, I think, found it wise to restrict licensed establishments from opening until noon, which is probably tied into the day of worship hours. Most people worship on Sunday in the morning. So that's the ordinance as far as my belief of historical perspective.
So you have a regular story.
Thank you, I appreciate it. The last question is, what's the allowable hours on other days? What's it, Saturday or?
6 a.m.
6 a.m., wow, okay. Thank you, that's all.
Thank you. Anybody else on this particular ordinance? None?
Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins. Councilmember Socorro Ludwig. Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. Ordinance number 4 is an ordinance 08204. It's an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of Brunswick, Title 10, vehicles and traffic, Chapter 10, stopping, standing, and parking, Section 10.16.050, Schedule 29, time limit parking meters. This is in reference to Albany Street, Bayer, Church, Main Street, Elmgrove, Liberty Street, Livingston Avenue, Wilson, Harrison, Richmond Street, and Street Street. Do any of my colleagues would like to comment or have any questions on this particular ordinance? Having none at this time, I'm opening the public portion of the meeting. Do you have any questions on this particular, any comments on this particular ordinance?
Hi, yes, is this number 4? I accept that. We're still talking about number 4?
Number 4, this is the one that we do, yes.
Oh, okay, now, like I said, once again, where I still don't see the purpose, where you think that signs, no stopping, no standing is really gonna solve an issue. How many times do I really bring this up, solve an issue with putting up signs? I think what the law officers, the parking authorities, they need to do what they're supposed to do to stop this, to where, wow, with all these streets that are here, and then, wow, just coming down Bayer Street, with all these roads, I've been sitting on there 10 minutes, where nowhere to go, and that's basically because of George Street being closed, for 3 months, but you come through here, how long you have to really sit just on Bayer Street, just to try to get down here, even after the rain. With the traffic the past 2 days, and then, wow, you're gonna open up this school within 3 weeks. Wow, what is somebody gonna be really sitting there 30 minutes and 30 minutes when the school's let out? But, well, due to where I'm talking about the streets, yes, like I said, you're gonna have to do something more than just putting signs up, because like I said, the purpose of just putting signs up, it's not helping. How long did you have to sign on George Street saying, ooh, no stopping, no standing, no parking? What, they still do it. Like I said, the police department, parking authority need to get out there and give out more tickets and start doing the job. People's not just gonna respond to I see they don't even respond to the sirens or the officers, and you really think they're gonna respond to signs? Come on, something needs to be done a little better than just signs. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else want to comment?
Charlie Crabbe, New Brunswick today. It's my understanding this ordinance changes the meter parking to be in effect 7 days a week in downtown. And so, again, we're kind of at this issue of Sunday was treated differently, and now it's still going to be treated a little differently than the other days, but in downtown, people would be subject to paying the meters and tickets if they don't. What prompted you to do this? Is this something the parking authority proposed, and what's the logic?
So we've seen an increase in parking along Church on Church Street, and that's particularly because there is no way to park at curbside. That's been a problem. And so it has nothing to do with the issue on George Street, but I would agree with her that there's congestion because people look for parking curbside and there isn't any. And that's because when parking is free, you can park everywhere and you can park anywhere and you can start there forever. Now, this is different in as much as it's from 5 to 8 o'clock because we provide parking for parishioners on Sundays. So this is in consideration to that population. We've seen that not having the ability for people to find parking because there isn't any, because people park there and they stay, so it increases traffic and congestion all over. I mean, I experience it. I'm here Saturday and Sundays, and I see it. And so we're trying to create turnover so that people have the ability to find parking at curbside. Because depending upon off-site parking for mobility, what it does is it kills proximity. People don't get close to where they need to be. So therefore, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create turnover.
Yeah, I see it would be 7 hours of the day, 1 to 8 in most places. Can you tell me, is there a projection of how much revenue this is going to generate, either for the authority or the municipal court system? Has there been any projection done?
I have no projections. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm just concerned about the increasing costs on the residents, of course. But yeah, I do appreciate you answering my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else on this particular ordinance? Seeing none?
Councilmember Anderson,
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda,
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming,
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins,
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig,
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan, Council President Escobar.
Yes. And then we have ordinance 082-305, is an ordinance amending ordinance 127-802, fixing salaries and wages of various employees represented by the Municipal Employees Association. This is for the term of January 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2026. Do any of my fellow council members have any questions or any comments on this particular ordinance? This time, I'm going to open the public hearing on this ordinance only. We have up to 5 minutes. Please approach the council.
Hi, yes, could you please tell me when you say fixing salaries and wages, what is this, a raise for the municipal employees?
There were some changes because of the contract that was just ratified with the municipal employees, so this is going to reflect those new salaries and.
Well, is it an increase or a decrease?
They're not decreasing because you cannot decrease a salary once you have it, so it has to be decreased, there's increases of those.
Well, okay, so what is the percentage, what is the percentage of the increase then?
Mr. Davis or?
Sure. So the percentage is based on what the increase in the contract was when the ordinance permits the city to pay the employees based on what is the range. So it increased the range to match the increase in the contract. The contract increase was 2.6% per year, starting in 2023, 24, 25, 26. So the ranges have to keep pace with those increases.
So why, you say a raise of 2.66 due to where, and this is my purpose of asking, but wow. Also, are these employees under a union?
That's part of the municipal.
That's the ordinance.
Well, okay, my point is the reason why I'm saying that.
Have any questions to me about these particular
For,
ordinances? Thank you.
my purpose of me asking due to where, like I said, our city employees, due to where, wow, how they were union, how none of you said that what you had nothing to do with it, what only a 1% increase. Like I said, why is it for most of them? Now, this is a 2.6 increase.
Mr. Ariel, this particular ordinance is about just to put the books, the range in accordance with the contract. If you want to talk about the contract a little bit more, we did that at the last meeting, but after in the public section, you could just answer any questions regarding to the contract. This is specific to those salaries. We want to make sure that we update those salaries here.
Okay, but like I said, it's amazing how you did this update after you made a decision with the city employees, which, like I said, what was a piece of crap anyway, piece of shit anyway that you did. But wow, and then now, like I said, come on,
Thank you,
not
Mr.
right.
Ariel. Thank you. Anybody else from the public?
Good evening once again, Charlie Cradaville. So the contract for this particular bargaining unit ended December 31st, I believe. So If this is approved tonight, can you confirm that there'll be retroactive raises, pay bumps going back to January 1, and do you know when the folks will receive that?
That's what I said for January 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2026.
Right. So if approved tonight, can you tell folks when that'll be hitting their paychecks?
Mr. Luis.
That, the contract was approved, ratified at the last meeting, I believe you're here, Mr. Crabbe.
Yeah.
That Friday, everyone received.
It's already
It's already been done.
Okay, thank you, that's all.
Thank you. Having nobody else,
Move the ordinance.
Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins. Councilmember Secor Ludwig. Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
yes. We have ordinances on first reading. We have ordinance 08206 and ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title II, Administration and Personnel. This is in reference to elected officials. And I will move.
Move the ordinance setting down September 6, 2023 at 5 p.m., same date to be advertised.
Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins. Councilmember Secor Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. We have ordinance 08207 and ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 17, zoning, chapter 17.04, zoning districts, section 17.04.045, overlay zones, and this is in reference to land remaining overlays. Somebody move?
I move the ordinance setting down September 6, 2023 at 5 p.m., same date to be advertised.
Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins.
Yes.
Councilmember Secor Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. We have ordinance 0820308, is an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 10, vehicles and traffic, chapter 10.12, traffic control regulations, section 10.12.010, extending to trucks over 4 tons excluded. This is in reference to Fort Robinson, Boulevard.
I move the ordinance setting down September 6, 2023 at 5 p.m., same date to be advertised.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins.
Yes.
Councilmember Secor Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. Ordinance 0820309, capital ordinance providing for various general capital improvement and acquisitions in and by the city of New Brunswick in the county of Middlesex, state of New Jersey, appropriating $6.9 million, therefore to pay for the cost thereof.
Move the ordinance setting down September 6, 2023 at 5 p.m., same date to be advertised.
Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins.
Yes.
Councilmember Secor Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. Now we have resolutions 1 through 38. Before we open the floor for public comment on the resolutions, any of my colleagues have any questions or comments on any of the resolutions?
Comment on the resolution per se, but I do just want at the top of this, raise awareness about New Jersey sales tax holiday for school supplies. So if one supplies, computer supplies, sporting equipment, et cetera, there is no sales tax from August 26th to September 4th. So I would encourage everyone to help raise awareness. This is a great time to go buy those supplies.
Fire Captain Hodge for taking the time to listen to me, and I hope, please, like I asked you, please close off the walkway between the canal and the river due to where that tide has been coming in too high, even when it's not a full moon. I tell you, with the dip between the canal and one location, if someone's coming from Harlem Park off the 27th Bridge, walking towards the pathway, and that tide is super high at night, you cannot see it, due to where I just did another video, like I said, please, close it off. No one to use the walkway, the bridges, to go to the path. Like I said, I just put it up the other day to show we don't have no full moon, how high that tide is coming in, blocking the walkways where anyone can fall in the water. That the pictures are up there for you to see. I'm pretty sure my buddy Captain, Fire Captain, he talks with me, associates with me, but please, for the fireworks this day, I advise you, please, no one to walk between the pathways at night to where you do not have lights that work through there. And like I said, that tide has been super high and anyone can fall in. My other concern, that's with number 4, with the school over there. Please, Sergeant, due to where with the safety, I would like to know, wow, now, and I'm really upset due to where, wow, this is supposed to be middle school. Now, I seen the article, was it last week, that this is kindergarten to 8th grade now. Please, when are you gonna clean up that neighborhood? Because I tell you, within 2 weeks, if I don't see it over there and after being a victim.
I don't want to interrupt you, but let's stick to the resolution, and maybe when it's public comment, you can talk about that. This is about, if it's number 4, this is for the improvement to the intersection.
Well, good. I'm talking about right there, the safety is well, due to where, like I said, it's still with safety on that corner. That's still the corner. What? How many people? What? Them got stabbed in the past 3 weeks? We're talking about the same location.
I understand that, but this is just to put a signal there, so maybe your public comment, you was the concerns about that.
Oh, believe me, you're gonna hear my concerns, and due to where it's surely not happy with after going to court last week, where with my situation over there. But like I said, wow, you need to think about cleaning that area up.
Thank you, Ms. Daniela.
Good evening, once again, Charlie Cradville. Would like to also comment on Resolution 4. It's really critical that this traffic signal get installed ASAP. The school's opening September 7th. Can you give an update on when the signal might go in?
Mr. Shammy.
Mr. Valenti may be better at that time.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Based upon what I reported last time, I have no new updates. They expect the signal. Based upon our reported at last meeting, I have no new updates. As I previously reported, the signal most likely will be in operation during the 2nd or 3rd week of September. Up until that time, the police will be supplementing the crossing guards with active traffic patrol officers on duty at the intersection of the traffic signal.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can you tell me why is the city paying, I guess this is DevCo, for the installation of the traffic light? That wasn't something that they were going to throw in with the school?
Mr. Shammy.
I can handle that. It's a city and county joint effort here, as the council's aware, a resolution that was passed a couple of meetings ago, where we agreed to split the cost. Actually, this resolution is designed to expedite the installation by way of a payment to the Middlesex County Improvement Authority. We'll take the money and then work with the developer and contractor to make sure it gets paid expeditiously.
Okay, I just need to clarify. It says to Jersey Avenue School Redevelopment Associates LLC. Is it going to the LLC or is it going to the improvement authority?
No, it's going to the MCIA, and look at the now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of City of Brunswick for contribution of $310,365 to the MCIA covers the cost of the installation.
Thanks, I was just reading the title. I'll move on. Yeah, the fireworks. Can somebody explain, the decision to move them to August 31st?
was saying with Mr. Jones' department, the last information update I have is a joint event at Town Park, and Town Park has been the lead on these days, working with us on them, but I can get you more information if you'd like to get in, Mr. Brazel.
Yeah, we could get you that, but I remember I recalled from before when it had to be canceled, it was Highland Park, the vendor didn't have another available date right after, so we decided to close out.
And then on to the very next one, the code blue budget insertion for last year. Just wanted to understand, 90,000 came from the county last year. Was it all spent? And what is budgeted for the upcoming?
Since Mr. Joseph is not here, we'll get to the information, or do you want to answer that one, Mr. Ruiz?
Well, I can give some information if you like. It's a budget insertion for the previous year, it's a reimbursement grant, and it was all expended.
Thanks. The Cigna contract, number 22, why the delay?
Sure. So the delay has to do with when we get the information from Cigna. These contracts are actually quite complicated, and we work back and forth to get the best price at the best time.
Thanks for the answer. And the last one I want to ask about is 35, the traffic signal that is going to be going in. Just want to understand, it's on French and Prospect, and this says that you had to add additional dates as a result of the nursing strike. But I haven't really seen the nurses at that corner, and I wanted to understand, is this going to be operational by September 1st? If the strike continues, will there have to be further, changes or delays? And how do you feel about the strike?
I'm not going to make any comment on the strike, Mr. Carpenter. Thank you for asking. Mr. Valenti.
Specific to the delay in the project, at the first couple days, the nurses were traveling and walking around the hospital, different locations. It was determined by the police department that it may present a safety concern, so they actually had the contractor stop the work so we can, make sure the safety was the number one priority. Since then, the strikers have kind of settled down and they're not traveling as much, so we felt it was safe to proceed at this point, so they're going to require weekend work in order to get it done.
Thank you very much for all the answers.
Anybody else for the public on the resolution? If none,
Move the resolution.
second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins.
Yes.
Councilmember Secor Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes, and abstaining on number 36.
Duly noted.
At this time, I'm going to open the floor for public comments. Any comments from my colleagues before we go into the comment? So now we are preparing to open the meeting for public comment. You have up to 5 minutes, one time up. Any members of the public wishes to address the council in this section, please approach the council.
Hi, yes, Debbie Moore. I'm going to start off with the good side first. I will say thank you to Captain Bobadilla last Saturday due to where I had a gentleman call me that he wants to talk to me. He wanted counseling, where I've been helping a lot of people with using drugs, saving a lot of lives. I've proven that to New Brunswick Police Department, how many lives I have saved this year. It's not easy, but that's what the Lord touched me to do. That's what I would do. I thank Captain Bobadilla and Mr. John from United Methodist Church, where we all work together with helping. Like I said, you don't have to be the same color, the same blood. You don't have to be in a relationship to show somebody love or tell them that you love them. But wow, God bless them to where some of them are stepping up saying that they want help. And I will say thank you to also Lieutenant Rupert for taking 40 minutes with me. I'm disappointed in Lieutenant Lemony making excuses for his officers, but now my trust is with Lieutenant Hoover, and I thank them for taking the time in these 40 minutes to really take me seriously on this new train, the Xanilin. How many overdoses? It's worldwide, but wow, we just had another overdose yesterday with this. I say New Brunswick is not that big due to where the police need to do better, but I did give a warning to the police department. Anyone who touches these people, who uses this train, you will be itching from 24 to 48 hours. That's how strong this stuff is. due to where, but like I said, if I know somebody, I'm not gonna leave them there. Like I said, that's me, where I, yes, 3 people that I say put them in the hospital, went to the hospital and all, yes, how you use hand sanitizer, shower, you won't stop itching. So I hope the city starts supplying our officers with medical gloves, with plenty of them, as many people as you have using this. I will say also, thank you that I do see the city stepped in with Parkside. We're putting a gate up there to stop the people from going into other people's yard, from pissing and taking a crap over there. I do see the officers working with me now that I've proved. I will say thank you to Sergeant Abode. I know it's 2 of them. I just forgot his name. He's the one with the great SUV Jeep, due to where, like I said, when I see something, wow, how he believes, how he can tell when I'm somewhere he knows something wrong, and how he's been coming to check in on certain things. I will say, bless his heart, if we had more officers like that, New Brunswick would be a better place. But now I'm going to get to my case due to where with Christian Rodriguez, due to where with this school system over there with kindergarten, it says no loitering. Get them people out of there due to a wow. I am very disappointed where I went to court last week with this man that I tased. That Suzanne Socorro, you tried to get me arrested for tasing for the 7 years. Yes, oh yes, believe me. I would pray that you get sexually assaulted. Let somebody touch you and you will see how it feels. Why I had a taser on me with all them bars you were opening up. Pray you don't open up that bar on Saddam Street, French and Saddam, a new one that's coming in. Enough is enough. But wow, for me to go to court last week thinking I'm the only one to go to court. Wow, how many charges this man? What, assaulting the owner of Sam's Chicken? What, assaulting somebody with Walgreens, robbery, theft? Come on, why? Why was he let free with New Brunswick and the prosecutor? All racism, including your buddy Judge Barrow, due to where, come on, why? Because he was a legal citizen? Then he pled guilty, and that now due to where they said he pled guilty to the charge, and now he's to be departed. Now I hear that I gotta go back to court for this? Please, this is what I said, due to where I have nothing against illegal, but like I said, we're to be treated equal, and I'm tired of seeing how these illegals can do what the hell they want in New Brunswick, and nothing is being done. But like I said, does it take you to be a damn victim? Let somebody touch you? And please, the kindergarten kids over there? And while I hear Sergeant Bobadilla say on video, wow, we cannot do nothing. Well, what does no loitering signs mean? Well, what does it mean? Nothing? Saying, oh, they can all stand over there. Now that you're going to move the people from Remington Avenue, wow, now they're all over there smoking, getting high too now. What all you're doing is pushing from one area to another. You're not solving the issue. But like I said, I will call the news channel 2 weeks before due to where you're going to have little babies walking through there. No one should be allowed over there. It says no loitering. You're trying to put the pressure on Walgreens. Oh, if they don't come down to the mayor, they don't come down to the police department, what, they can stand over there and keep sexually harassing somebody? Please, like I said, if you really want to, like I said, may you understand what it feels to have somebody run up and grab you. But like I said, wow, the same man that touched 4 people, why do they get away? Because they're illegal?
Yes, I'm so sorry to be the next speaker. I just want to take a moment, because I respect everyone's ability and right to have a voice and say, but I think we also need to be careful and cautious about the language that we use that is very dehumanizing and in some ways racist and xenophobic. Specifically, the usage of the term illegals and how we refer to seeing Latinos.
No, I'm listening to her. I didn't say anything. I didn't say nothing to you. I want to hear her.
It's fine. I'm saying it, and I'm saying it forever.
Well, she didn't want to interrupt it. I didn't say anything.
Excuse me. For a second, I'm sorry, Councilman. The only reason I say is I'm standing in this.
I didn't say anything to you. I was only trying to hear what she was saying.
And I'm telling you, just in case, that it's only for you to listen. That's it. I'm not telling you anything else. Thank you.
Go ahead and day.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councilman.
I'm going to say it again. The use of the term illegals is problematic, and it is racist. It is dehumanizing to refer to people based on if they have a piece of paper or not in such a way. No human being is illegal. That's it.
Well, then that wasn't what I heard on court, and I had to be in court.
No response. It was on you. your time is up.
And I would also like to thank Ms. Moore for her Christian-like vengeance comment towards me.
So anybody else from the public?
Good evening, Charlie Cradaville, New Brunswick, and yeah, I do want to thank Councilwoman Gaskins for your comments. Appreciate it. That being said, O-08-2306, ordinance pertaining to elected officials on first reading tonight. Could you enlighten us as to what that ordinance would do?
So first reading, we not allowed to make any comments to it, Mr. Chairman?
It's not like you're not allowed.
Well,
We deal with
usually
it on
on like
second-
don't.
We normally don't. We deal with it on second reading, but it amends the ordinance with respect to salaries for elected officials.
I see. So, and as you said before, they don't go down, they're going up. So how much of a raise are you proposing for yourselves?
I'm not ready to discuss that now.
Okay, well, you did vote on it tonight.
No, the first reading.
Right, so you're aware of
So
it,
again,
and I think the public would like to know.
at the next, they're going to know at the next meeting, can you, Mr. Craddock?
Can you tell me this? Will the ordinance hold off until the next election cycle, or will you be giving yourselves raises without
You're
voting?
already making assumptions that is for us.
Well, you did it before, so I'm just asking if that's what's happening.
It says elected officials, so elected officials is a broad category, right? So you already assume that is for us, so it's not for us.
I see. This could be a raise for Mr. Mayor. So, do you care to tell us, is it a raise for the mayor, is it a raise for you all?
It would be something.
I don't see why we can't know.
Raise for the mayor.
For the mayor.
To what number?
Well, the proposed ordinance, will be available tomorrow. It brings it within the category of the salary guidelines. It's been at range for years and years to 90,000, which is the bottom of the range for the salary of the mayor in our salary ranges.
Okay, so he'd go from making 40,000 a year to making 90,000 a year. Will he still get the auto stipend? He's been getting 6,000 a year.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's not in the ordinance, but he's been getting it. I'll move on, because I was hoping to get some responses on the things I had brought up before. I noted New Brunswick Parking Authority had a pretty big personnel change, and was asking what that means for the old supermarket, the abandoned supermarket space. Is there any plan for what's going to happen there?
Did you ask at their board meeting?
Yeah, they said they don't have a plan, but that was July 26th, so I'm asking now, do you know of any plans?
I'm not aware of it, so I would suggest that you go again and try to get that question answered.
Okay, just note the city website still notes the prior executive director as the executive director, so someone will have to update that. New Brunswick Housing Authority, did you look into this at all? Is Mr. Clark resigning? Is he going to step aside?
I haven't heard anything of that nature, Mr. Craddock.
Okay. Why is their offices still closed?
You will have to ask the board, that's not really my purview. So ask them, have you asked them?
They keep canceling their meetings. So,
That's a forum, so maybe ask Mr. Clark directly.
He's like a ghost. He's vanished. I've tried to contact him many times. I've gone to the building, it's locked. You have to talk to someone through a doorbell.
That's been going on
He's
for
never
a while.
there.
Yeah, that's been going on for a while.
Yeah. It's the only government building that's still closed. Why is that? I remember being at an event with some people here promoting the Latino telehealth program that was going to be there. That didn't happen. People can't go to the housing authority and get telehealth. People can't go to the housing authority and file an Oprah request or do basic government stuff. They're only supposed to be open 4 days a week, and they're not open. So I think that, as liaison, you should look into this.
They're not open the door, right? Because they're open,
Madam President, if I can direct you, the telehealth is happening.
At the housing authority.
Thank you.
By appointment.
Okay, that wasn't what the county told me, but I will double check. Housing Authority is poised to approve Borai Development as a designated redeveloper for a 30-story tower on Spring Street. Is it true this project will have 0 of the 342 units affordably priced? And does the council support that kind of development? Zero affordable housing, more expensive housing without affordable?
I'll follow up with that, Mr. Craddock. You said on Spring Street?
Yep, 11 Spring Street. It was on the agenda for the meeting they canceled. They have a special meeting scheduled now for August, and perhaps they'll actually finally have a meeting. But I just wanted to close by saying, you know, please pay attention to the Maui wildfire, the heat waves across the world, our own poor air quality, the recent flash flooding and property damage. We need your help to stop this power plant. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else with public?
Brittany, Livingston Avenue. I just wanted to know, do you guys know any update about the 2 drivers that stole the garbage truck and they're still working? No suspension until you guys find out what's going on. No questions from you. Are they good employees? No arbitration, no write-up. Do you know? Would you like to ask Tom Lindsay? What's the update on that? How much investigation time do you need?
I don't know if we could give you that information at this time, but we'll follow up. That's something that's personal matter. I was gonna say it's a personal matter. So.
Well, if it was me that did it, it wouldn't be a personal matter. You would have just fired me, because that's in your rule book, your handbook, and also the contract. It's immediate termination. You have created an even more hostile work environment, because now when you write somebody up for something small like coming to work late or throwing a garbage can, something simple like that, do you know what happens? Now it gives the union an issue, because their excuse is, well, they didn't fire 2 guys from the job that stole a garbage truck on the weekend when the garbage truck wasn't even supposed to be out, and now how could they write me up for this? I've watched you guys fire guys for less. Suspended until further notice, hit by cars, and you didn't do anything. But these guys that come steal a garbage truck and make the whole work environment hostile, and you guys don't know anything. You gotta get back to me. There's an excuse. This is a personnel matter. So who's gonna let them go? Because it's against your policy. It's against your rule. It's in your handbook. You guys write the rules. It's in the contract. That's immediate termination. But I guess if it was somebody else that did it that you didn't really care for, you would have fired me. So I don't understand what the special treatment is, and that's discrimination. Because you had no problem with sending Thomas Valenti down to the yard to hand out memos about something he knew nothing about. But these guys are on camera and on GPS, and you still didn't fire these people. They're still working in peace. In peace. Nobody has said anything. Nobody has brought up their rules in the contract. Nothing. Nothing. That's pure discrimination. That's pure retaliation for everything that you guys say that you don't tolerate. You tolerate it, and you pay the union to tolerate it. Because the union just goes along with whatever the city says. They're not there to protect us, especially not a woman. Because I'm pretty sure if I would have done that, you guys would have fired me. It just depends on who you are in the city. And I want to know what this special treatment is about. It doesn't make any sense. Because I got a write-up for 10 days suspension that is still being held over my head for something that you think I did. You don't have any proof. You think I did it. There have been multiple double days, and these guys have called out the same way, and nobody said a word. This last Tuesday, we were short-staffed. 5 to 6 people called out. I guess I told them to strike again. No, it's the 2.6. They don't care for the 2.6. You left the contract open this whole time with people that haven't got raises in years. And the cost of living is crazy high in New Brunswick, and you gave them 2.6. Big whoop. But I would love to be at the next meeting to see what your raise is going to be. And the mayor's raise. It's just amazing. You guys are sickening. You support discrimination, and you need to be exposed.
Thank you.
Somebody says something about illegals, you get upset. But I've been standing here for over a year telling you that they're discriminating against people down in yard. For the color of their skin, for them being a woman, and everything, and being trans. That happens right here for your employees. And you did absolutely nothing. And none of you guys said anything. All we got was this weirdo asking us, are we a good employee? No, you quiet. Because it's my turn. It's my turn. And you're done too. You're disgusting. You know nothing. You have no answers for nothing.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
At this time, the question is.
So they taking out here one budget, like I told you.
Have a second?
Racist devil.
I like to speak.
Wait, hold on, because we just need a motion and a second.
Councilmember Anderson?
Yes. So let's proceed the motion and go ahead.
Okay, I can continue.
Yes.
My name is Carlos Ramirez, reporter in Brunswick today. I just wanted to bring in just different perspectives of what other members have to say today. One of the concerns I have is the jaywalking. Now, there's also many debates when there's pedestrians getting hit, the driver is at fault, people are at fault, but at the end of the day, it's mostly the driver that ends up getting the book thrown at, and we have pedestrians that are jaywalking, crossing, intoxicated people, young kids, especially with the school being getting built on, Jersey Avenue has some concerns as well. I feel like if New Brunswick police would start issuing summonses or warnings, to people and kids, instead of putting signs, like another community member was saying, we are putting signs up, but really nobody reads those signs. Many people don't even know how to read, and some just don't care at all. So I feel like it would be a push if we started, getting our officers to step out of the cars, issue warnings to those people, stop jaywalking, and then start issuing summonses. Maybe that way we can start, seeing less pedestrians getting hit. And the other thing I wanted to mention regarding to safety was also there was a crash that happened, I believe yesterday, I could be mistaken, US Highway 1. If a car being on its side, I noticed that we have several, over a dozen police officers on the highway with no reflective vests. The uniform is all black. Their pants have yellow stripes on the side, but they're not reflective. So, I'm not sure what their requirements or policy is dealing on the highway. There's cars that don't even care for them, and they're simply just trying to fly by. Hurry to speed, would suggest, them wearing their reflective vests. I know they also have their patrol cars with lighting and things like that. I also noticed that their patrol cars were not aligned properly on the wheels. I know that they're supposed to be turned all the way to the right or left. So if a vehicle coming at high rate of speed from behind crashes into it, it will push the car straight forward where they're working on, instead of the vehicle going at a side, where there could not be somebody, or pushing into other oncoming traffic. So I think that was one of the concerns I had. And also there are these items called guardian angel lights. It's a magnetic light that goes on the shoulders. They're rechargeable, they come in different colors. And I think that would be a great accessory for them to have. Maybe that's a consideration they should put in their budget, especially with all these crashes happening daily, and especially at night where some people are drunks and other stuff like that. We have North Brunswick that does all these stuff to avoid situations and having drunk drivers on there. We don't do it on our highways, but that's something we could definitely have on our officers to prevent and issues like they've had prior times, where they've had their units completely torn apart, mangled vehicles and things like that. The other concern was the trash on Railroad Avenue, happening on 1000th Street, which is already a complete mess. And then my street, Sudan Street, it's managing it from all the nearby residents and business stores that we pick up on a daily basis. But it's still a struggle, especially with the homeless people there. And then we have Candy Street, which is another mess of its own. We were asking if we could get some trash cans put there. We know there's some on 1000th Street. We just want to see if we could get some on the railroad side of Sudan Street, maybe Seaman Street, and as well as Candy Street. And my last comment was, hopefully new increase will encourage the mayor to start participating in the city council meetings, and new members having response on real time when concerns are brought up, instead of pushing it to next meetings and things like that. And what Ms. Gaskin said, I definitely don't agree with the comment made by another local resident, but I do appreciate the remarks she made after. You know, somebody's legal status should not reflect the type of people they are. You know, we label people for certain things, but you know, not everybody's alike. So I think, you know, I do appreciate her making those remarks. You know, I definitely agree in many things with people, many things I don't agree with, but I definitely, you know, come here because we want to see the city push through and become a better place than it is. You know, we have many things to work on, so thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Councilmember Anderson,
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda,
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming,
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin,
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig, Council Vice President Egan,
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Councilmember Gaskin, maybe I should play when you were here, the judge and the prosecutor say he was illegal, so are they racist? Judge Burrow, I have it on recording. So are they racist for calling him illegal, non-citizen? I can't comment. No, tell me, are they racist for calling him illegal? I have it on record, sweetie, I recorded it. You will have your day. You cannot have racist, many black people that I've been saved over there. I done fed them, I was the first one to feed them over there. You think that's racist? All you racists are sitting up there. Like I said, they don't devil, she will have her day, that devil will have her day. You all will be taken out of here.
Excuse me? I know, I was in between meetings, and so I ran in Krauser's and he gave me a piece of cardboard.